I don't think that anyone would disagree when I say that we are all currently experiencing some very difficult economic circumstances. Globally, while there has been some signs of recovery from the Great Recession, this expansion is at best anemic and spotty, so that any positive external stimulus that our economies will likewise be weak, except for those that serve very narrow niche markets. The decline in sugar prices, the ending of preferential trading arrangements are now fully being felt by us. The performance of our agriculture exports continue to be weak, mainly because of disease, and as the governor mentioned earlier, the corresponding banking issue continues to be a major source of challenge and difficulty for our small economies in the Caribbean.
There are no simple answers to these questions. We must continue in earnest the discussion and include as many stakeholders as possible. More importantly, we must then execute the recommendations with some haste. This conference and others like it are important for finding solutions to these escalating regional challenges. While theoretical research is indispensable to expanding our knowledge, we are in dire need of applied scholarship that can inform our decision-making and provide near-term policy recommendations that, collectively, can allow us to improve the quality of life and living conditions of all our people.
For the next 2 days, the best and brightest minds in Caribbean economics and finance will be studying the question of repositioning small states for new global realities and analyzing the prospects and challenges. The 49th Annual Monetary Studies Conference is, according to the bank's research director, Azucena Juan Novello, both an opportunity to learn best practices across the region and to begin the training of the future crop of economists and financial experts.
For this conference, we're looking at those fiscal issues such as the management of debt. How do you manage debt and yet be able to get growth? Because clearly for growth, you have to invest in order to grow, but sometimes that investment requires borrowing. There is also the issue of financial sector interconnectedness and how that affects the region. For example, there were in the region some major happening, the CLICO collapse, and how that affected countries, more than one countries. We also have to look at ourselves and look at the interconnectedness within our financial system to see how we need to manage those and monitor and track increasing vulnerabilities arising from those interconnectedness.
And closer to home, the question of excess liquidity in the banking system and challenges for sustainable investment will be an important topic to be discussed by a Belizean presenter. But at the end of the day, Juan Novello says solutions to much of our problems may be formulated from this week's discussions.
Key takeaways would be the main lessons learned, because you're looking at experiences of other countries in the region, what works, what doesn't work. You're looking at studies that will be looking at issues that affect the country and what would be recommendations to address or mitigate those vulnerabilities, or policies, how to formulate policies that are more beneficial for the country.
Aaron Humes reporting for News 5.